Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Jesus, John.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed that we're all friends.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill road.
Hi, welcome to Take on the World. Mike, John, and Katie sitting here talking about the world's topics, everything that goes on.
The bullshit of the world.
True. So let's start off with just a little something from the news. John, you'll enjoy this immensely. Because John and I have had this conversation, and anybody who has experienced the world of porn in the last 2 or 3 years has seen this story, but here it is in real life. College student stuck in a dryer after a few drinks.
Wow, wow.
And then the stepbrother steps in, and that's how it starts. We had this conversation in the shop. Why is it that every perverted stepbrother, their stepsister gets stuck in the dryer or under the sink?
Oh, no, bro.
This is actually a true story from the UK. A college student in the UK needed to be rescued by the local fire brigade. And that's how you know it's from the UK, because they call it fire brigade. They don't call
Wait, didn't they used to call the fire brigade in like the 1800s here?
In
Yeah.
some industrial settings, it's still fire brigade. There's actually a completely different certification.
Listen,
If you're in Schuylkill County, it's a hosey. I don't care where you are.
the hosey.
Yeah,
It's a
like it
hosey.
is, yeah.
I'll have you know that I was watching the thing on the 5 Points, and what the hell was that movie with Leo and oh god,
Titanic.
no, not that one.
The Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
And this is why
It's a really real movie.
firewhackers all fucking fight over each other, and they send 50 different engines to one fucking crime
Did you just call them all whackers?
You have
Yeah.
no idea what actually goes on. I'll fight with you
No,
about
listen.
this.
Listen, it's
Whackers.
because back in the day, they were paid. No, I don't deny that. This is
I repeat.
back in the day, in that time, the first person there was paid more money. So it was a fight not a fight, but it was a race to get there first, because the first person there would get paid money.
Well, they would claim commander, like scene commander, like the first person there. Like,
But it makes sense. Like the first truck that gets there, they're the ones that get paid. And I was like, I always
I'm
wanted.
getting such hateful eyes right
Well,
now. It's not funny.
You still see it to this day that a lot of engine companies like be the first one there. So it's like
That's
Command.
not about money, though.
not
No,
now.
it's about power and prestige, because all they
Like
have.
everything in this fucking world.
Okay, but I think it was just a tradition that was.
Cheers.
I just want to say, I think it was a tradition that was held from back in the day. Like that's what we used to do, and they still carried on.
Command. I'm in charge.
So
Oh my
anywho,
God, there's so
anyways.
much hate coming from you.
And she wants to strangle you with her mic cord.
That's fine.
Right after.
Let's get back to this story. This chick actually got drunk and crawled into a dryer,
Feet first.
feet first, and got stuck.
Was there alcohol involved?
I am absolutely 100% sure there was.
Of course.
And I say cheers to that.
Absolutely. I don't know how to get stuck in.
She was stuck. It took them 20 minutes to get her out. The fire brigade took her 20 minutes to get her out of the dryer. Her stepbrother could have got her out in 10 minutes.
With some olive oil.
With
and-
some olive oil and some shea butter.
Shea butter, all natural ingredients.
They save cats from trees, so maybe they should save students from tumble dryers, she reasoned.
The old tumble dryer strikes again.
Anyway, we'll put that aside.
I have.
This is John's, this is his spank bank.
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh. Yeah. Anyways.
We were talking about the topic of the podcast, not step sisters stuck in dryers where stepbrothers get them
Stuck
out, because
porn.
that is also John Spank Bang.
Whatever gets you off, bro.
It's
I
the
have
number
no
one trending
judgment.
thing right now.
I have no judgment, bro. None.
Stuck porn.
No judgment.
Get with it.
So today's topic.
So what? We're not related. We're just stepbrothers.
Stepbrother. He's my stepbrother. Doesn't count.
dragon.
Oh my god, it's slip step, sis.
Wow.
Fucking
You
horrible.
watch way too much porn, bro.
He absolutely
hilarious.
watches too much porn.
Way too
You
much
know
porn.
He does.
You're just afraid to admit it.
I've never seen that.
I watch porn, but not in the
I've
same
never
capacity.
seen gay porn.
Not 6 times a day.
Oh, let's go on to today's topic, which is ghosts, and because John
And not
threw a
hauntings.
hissy fit, hauntings as well.
I don't remember typing that in my text message. Never said such a thing.
We had this
What are the topics
conversation.
again?
We had this conversation via text message, and John.
Listen, we all can't remember shit. At least
Yeah.
I can't.
Actually,
and Michael makes
Mike
shit
and I
up.
are pretty much on top of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Michael
I mean-
makes shit up and he just likes to argue.
And
And when he's wrong,
Let's
he's
move
still
on.
right.
I usually am right.
And who's the other person? Wrong.
That's right. So
Did you just get off on him crunching his ice? Oh my god.
what the hell,
What kind
dude?
of creep are you?
Anyway,
Not all of us have stepsister fetishes, John.
I'm the weirdo.
Oh, I'm
That's
going to
very
set
true.
you on tumble dry low.
For 5 seconds.
we'll put you on cold spin.
Oh, jeez.
So ghosts.
Ghosts.
Where we all stand on ghosts? Where you at?
Where am I at? I believe.
You believe in ghosts?
I absolutely do
Yes.
believe.
I am a non-believer.
You're a non-believer in the
A lot of things.
Bigfoot.
I did say I didn't
Bigfoot's
believe in
dick.
Bigfoot. I said I give it the opportunity to be there. I just haven't seen any evidence to support it.
But there's really not a lot of evidence as far as ghosts go either. It's just that I had one experience one time, and I want to believe. But I have people who have had experiences. But at the same time, you have to think that the human mind is a very powerful tool, and you can manifest almost anything you think of.
So as everybody can tell, someone is going to take anchor of this episode.
It's called me, because last episode, in case anybody wasn't listening, I had 0 stake in the game. And at some point, the
something. You're a
woman,
baby.
at
You're
some
a
point,
baby.
the
What would
woman
you know
has to
about-
take charge and show everybody what's going on. And clearly, that's what happens in step porn.
What would you know about Vietnam? You're an
I don't know
infant.
much about Vietnam.
You're an infant.
I will not even sit there and lie. I don't know much about Vietnam. I was born in 1989.
You got Similac behind the ears.
I, to this day, still like a titty. But that's not the point.
Well,
What I'm trying to say
I would have to
is-
say, if anybody's sitting at this table, John and I would appreciate a titty as well.
You could.
I'm just saying.
I was going to say you could
Between me
each
and
have
you is,
one. but
Like, you like man titties. I like girl titties.
Well, whatever. Titties are titties.
I don't even think that's accurate.
See, there's John,
Why don't you go
and then there's John Gay.
pop your titty out his mouth? What'd you say? I said pop your titty out the boy's mouth.
So,
What
ghosts.
movie's that from?
Ghosts.
I don't know.
We're not getting into
You
it.
just made that. You
Major
made it.
Payne.
You
We-
pulled that right out your ass.
Most people knew it. He liked.
So, ghosts, apparition, haunts, phantoms, poltergeist, shades, specters,
Wait,
spirits.
shades? What the
Yeah.
fuck is a shade?
You never heard
Those are
that?
things I wear
No.
in my head when it's too.
Well, I
sunny
don't even
outside.
believe in
I'm
ghosts, and I
hungover.
know that term.
It's because you just Googled it
You
last
throwing
night.
shade on me, bro?
No, I didn't Google it last night. I Googled
The
this
night
shit like
before.
weeks ago.
Yeah, Mike's been prepared for.
Anywho.
Spooks, wraiths.
Spooks is
Right.
not a term for ghosts.
It is.
That is a completely different podcast, which we will not get into.
I have to beg to differ.
Spooks. Spooks.
Spokes.
Spooks.
Spokes
Not
on your
spokes.
wheel.
No, not spokes. Spooks.
Like skooks. Spooks.
Spooks. Yeah, you know what? That
I'm
fucking
not following
face
you.
you just
Never heard-
made, that's the one that gets you punched in the throat.
Would you be surprised to know that
Wow,
in
you're getting punched in the throat
2009
already?
there was a study done by the Pew Research Center. 18% of all Americans say they've seen a ghost.
And honestly, 18% is not a lot. More people have had the coronavirus.
Take that, Joe Biden.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Wait, we said no politics.
Anyway,
No politics.
No,
Any
we can't.
fucking who.
No.
You almost got punched right there.
I'm about to get
Ow,
punched.
that's the second
I'm
time.
insulting people.
That is the second time.
What do you mean? So they got punched in the throat
You almost got punched.
today, or I mean, it's a daily routine for me.
In the last couple of weeks.
Hmm.
I mean, I'd punch you almost any day of the week.
Same girl, same.
Sure, you would, but I wouldn't feel anything with your girl arms.
How about mine?
Yeah, that would hurt.
I would just run away.
I'm just saying. You'd cry and run away.
She'd probably stab you with a knife.
So who's got a ghost story?
I honestly, I have only ever had
somebody here that might.
I have only ever had one ghostly experience. So I went to Gettysburg for a ghost tour. No, listen. What you have to understand is that I will punch you so
Is that like saying Bethlehem? Because
or Lebanon?
if you're from Bethlehem, you don't say Bethlehem. You say Bethlehem.
Yeah. If you're from Lancaster, you don't say Lancaster.
You say Lancaster.
You say Lancaster.
Right.
If you're from Reading, you don't say Reading. You say shithole.
I'm sorry, Katie. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did we interrupt you?
It's It's fine. That's just what happens. Men are that kind of way.
Well, it's just him.
No.
So, anyways, what I was thinking was,
no, it's really just him.
Yeah. Well. So anyway, this one time.
At band camp.
No, not even gonna go there.
You at band camp at Gettysburg?
I was at band camp at Gettysburg. Somebody. No. I honestly, and just to let everybody know where I stand, the paranormal is my shit. I will literally sit on my sofa for 14 hours straight and watch Ghost Hunters or, Destination Spooky or whatever the fuck it is. You know what? I don't care. It is what it is. That's my jam. I would much rather go to a place that's supposedly haunted than a place that's done up for Halloween. But anyway, the only time in my life I've ever had a paranormal experience, I was in Gettysburg. And this is Gettysburg. And we were on the hospital grounds for the old battlefield, which is now a university of some sort. That's creepy. And
University of Gravy? What'd you say?
I said it's creepy.
Oh, I thought you said University of Gravy.
Oh my god, get your mind out of the fucking kitchen, buddy.
Gravy and fries is good.
It's called poutine in my world.
That's right.
And I'm not. But no, I mean, I'll get interrupted 6 more times until I get to the story. What I'm trying to say is...
Not true. I would not interrupt
hospital.
you.
He said about how sometimes you feel these cold spots. I didn't think anything of it. I was in hotels. I was on battlefields. I didn't feel anything. We were walking back to the bus after this tour, and it was literally the middle of July. My fat ass was sweating just walking back to the bus. And all of a sudden, I went into this cold spot that was literally, legitimately so cold that I got chills. I turned around.
Were they multiplying?
And John is so bored right now, he's checking his phone. I turned around.
That's not at all.
I turned around.
Check my phone.
It's on camera.
And I'm hearing.
But he doesn't listen.
Carry on.
I'm listening.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm so sorry.
Have this conversation with you, Mike, because you know what? This should just basically be our podcast.
I'm so sorry that he treated you like that.
Story of my life. Anyway.
And now she's turned her body and racked her mic.
Anywho.
No. So we were walking back to the bus, middle of July. It's hot as shit. All of a sudden, I feel this cold spot to the point where it sent chills through my body. And I turned around, and the 2 people behind me felt the same thing. It's it stopped me dead in my tracks.
So what you're saying is a mass delusion.
Listen. Yes. It was before I could drink alcohol or do drugs, so...
You can do drugs at any age.
I never did, though. I was a fucking...
I never have done drugs.
I have.
Never.
But if suck a dick was a drug, you're all over that.
Any fucking anyway. That was that one time. I'm done telling you. I'm not going to even try
No,
to tell you. For a 14th time.
I'm going to tell you something. When I was in the Navy, I had a roommate who was a Satanist. Legit. And I never told you this story. I don't think you've ever heard this story either. My roommate, I walked I don't believe in ghosts. I'm going to put that out there 100%. I do not believe in ghosts. This dude was doing some satanic ritual in our fucking barracks room. And I came back, and I swear I saw some shit. Now, I will 100% say the military taught me to drink. Like, I could do some drinking when I was in the Navy. I learned how to handle hard liquor like nobody's business. I saw some shit that I don't know what the fuck I saw for real. He was doing this ritual. I walked in and I
Wait, was this like on a ship?
No, this was in our A school when we were up at Great Lakes. So usually 4 people share a room.
What's A school?
It's your main, whatever your vocation is. I was a fire control tech. My A school was FCA. So I went to the FC school, fire control school. Our barracks had everybody who was FCs in the same barracks. But we all had rooms that was 4 people to a room. Well, we're only 2 people to a room. And I walked in there and I saw a bed floating and I saw smoke in the room and I saw lights. And I drank a lot at the time.
Were you intoxicated?
Was that?
Were you drunk at that time?
I was drunk.
That is still a weird thing to see when you're drunk, though.
Yeah, I was kind of freaked out pretty bad by it.
It's not like you're hallucinating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I never...
Did you get roofied?
It's possible. I mean, you kind of begged for that when you were in the military. When you were in A school, you kind of begged to get roofied.
So I want to go back to your story, Katie. Like, how did you feel when you were walking through this? Well, you said
it didn't even make me feel some type of way. It was just one of those things where, like, I turned around just to look and see if anybody else felt what I saw because I knew there was no logical explanation for it. There was no grates, there was no dip in the valley, like anywhere that there would be like a thermal change. And I was outside, literally just walking to the bus. And I myself, I believe, but I'm completely like objective. I would say, like my mind is open.
So my mind's very closed when it comes to that stuff.
Did you like?
Their faces said it all when I turned around, and their eyes were like... You
literally like turned around and looked at each other, and you're like, what
the 3 people behind them didn't feel it at all when they walked through it, and that's what it was. And
so you walk right,
and then all you do is you turn around and you walk exactly through the same place, and there's nothing.
But it was on a battlefield,
nothing.
Or
it was a battlefield, but it was what was considered a hospital at that point in time. So there were amputations, like everything that they would have done, like just the story.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool, and like I said, like I don't care. You know, this
That's
stuff doesn't scare me. I mean,
you hang around.
But you and I have been to Colorado. We went to the Stanley Hotel, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in America. Didn't see shit. I was completely subjective. Like it was fun. It was a great place to go. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what?
But it's not really the Stanley Hotel. Like if you look at
the
Kubrick
John,
movie,
it really is the Stanley Hotel. Like that's what it's called.
Kubrick? You talking about a Kubrick movie?
He's talking about The Shining.
Yeah.
Which wasn't even necessarily filmed in the Stanley Hotel.
It wasn't. Just the front of it was used for the movie.
But the Stanley Hotel in and of itself is supposed to be haunted.
I got told about that last time. You can't be tapping on the table.
I'm a woman. It just
I didn't say you
natural
can't be. I said you're doing a lot of tapping.
No, but what I'm saying is...
You're over here pounding like fucking Hitler.
What I'm saying is I'm completely subjective.
So you said it made the hair on your back of your neck stand up.
It made the hair on the back of my neck on my
crazy.
arm stand up. Like it's just something that you feel. And I've been. I'm telling you, haunted places are my jam. Eastern State Penitentiary.
That place is freaky.
Gettysburg. I will go, and it
was
doesn't freak me out at all.
Like I visited jails all over the country because
same.
Because I work in corrections. I mean, I like jails. But
you didn't think Eastern State was?
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
Not really.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten an uneasy feeling.
No, I never felt haunted. I just said it was creepy. Like, could you imagine being locked up there? That place is just fucking dirty.
Here's creepy for you.
So is Alpha Unit.
Oh, yeah. But some shit has happened down there. The ghost of Dylan, bro. That's all I'm saying. The ghost of Dylan.
Some shit has happened on every unit in our jail.
I was going to say, there's some stories about our jail, especially old jail. And
I was in the old jail. Like, these 2 guys were not in the old jail. I was in the old jail. Legit.
Yeah, you got more stories than... I've got, like, one crazy story, maybe two. But
Here's a story for you. One year, my wife bought me a trip to Falls Church, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. I fucking hate that state.
Mississippi.
Not Mississippi.
So Massachusetts.
To the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast. So it was where Lizzie Borden killed her parents, supposedly. We slept in the room on the night of the murders that Lizzie Borden supposedly hacked her mother to death.
I was going to say that is creepy.
And it was creepy. My wife was creeped out like big time. Like,
Well, how much convincing did you have to?
She did it for me. She didn't tell me she was doing it.
I would have sex on the bed.
She truly loves you.
She does.
I was gonna say, yeah.
To sleep in a house where people were murdered?
Absolutely. So all weekend long, all these people are there. They're pissed off because they know I don't believe in ghosts. And they're like taking pictures of orbs and all this other crap. And I'm like, I'm kind of making fun of them.
Dust particles.
Yeah. Dust particles shining off the light.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
So on the anniversary of the father the minute the father got killed, I was laying on the couch the father got killed on, with a reenactor of Lizzie Borden standing behind me with a hatchet. And it's someplace in the Fall River, Massachusetts paper or whatever. They have a picture of that. I don't know where the hell it is. I never got it. With her standing over me. And I'm laying in the same position the father was. And all these people were all freaked out. Oh my God, you're tempting the spirits. I don't believe in a shit. What I find interesting about it.
They know you're tempting the spirits.
Well, that's what they said. I don't know. What I find interesting about it is they have all of the forensic information from the investigation on display in the house. That's what I like.
That's crazy. That's the shit that interests me.
That's what interests me, too. Like, I don't believe in ghosts, per se. Like, what about all the ghost shows? Like Ghost Hunters?
That's called entertainment.
Dude, they never find anything.
That's not true.
Oh, so a door slams?
No. There's one episode.
Something knocks on the wall. It could be anybody back there.
There's one episode at the St. Augustine Lighthouse. And I'll tell you what, it's the only episode of Ghost Hunters that ever made my hair stand on end. Because they actually film, you can see a shadowy figure like lean over the walkway.
But that could be edited by...
You're right.
I was going to say,
absolutely.
Video editing these days is...
Absolutely. It could be. But it's
you
still...
got punked, bro.
I might have. But I don't believe in ghosts. So how can I get punked?
Because you did there for a second. You got punked.
Because the human mind is an incredible thing.
It is. But see, the human mind is programmed to see faces and objects and shapes. And I think that's what people see. And Bigfoot.
Mostly just...
But the human mind is programmed to see that. Like, if you look at the face of Mars, you ever see that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you see, like,
It's rock. It's a rock formation. And when a shadow hits it just right, it looks like a face.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you look at the clouds, you say, oh, I see a dragon.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Exactly the same thing.
Mars is flat.
What?
Mars is flat.
Mars is... That's another show.
But,
No, and honestly, I think that's the same thing with Hauntings. Like, 99% of the time, it's all about, I'm gonna be that bitch. It's all about what people think. You know, like your mind, what you think, what you project is what happens. You know, that's the thing.
Do I think...
No, I've got a story for this.
Go ahead.
Well, finish yours.
No. Rock on.
When I was probably in my early teens, I used to spend time down
So like last week?
Yesterday.
Yesteryear, I used to spend my summers down at the shore, at the beach down in Delaware. And
Delaware sucks.
Does not. Take that back, mister.
No.
Anyways, I would spend time down there with my aunt and uncle, and I would stay at their old farmhouse. And they would tell me stories of how, like, it was haunted. From what I understand, they said it used to be the slave master's house, and the outbuildings were like some sort of plantation where they had their slaves. And they later had them burn down. The local fire company, the fire brigade, came by and burned them down for practice. But her mother, my aunt's mother, what?
Nothing. Keep going.
Rock on, bro. No one's even interrupting you. What the fuck?
You're fucking laughing at.
Look
at you. What's not to laugh at?
Anyway, keep going.
Carry on.
Yeah, we're listening.
My aunt's mother, they used to say she had a third eye, and she had a easel of all these pictures, and I saw for myself like these ghostly figures. I'm like so, and she would tell stories of, I was in my bedroom, which we used to go up there and watch like horror movies with her. She's the first one to introduce me to horror movies, and
that's another show.
She used to let us smoke in her bedroom, and it was great. And she told me that, she says, one night I was walking out, I went to go downstairs to use the bathroom. I walked out my bedroom, went down the hallway, and I looked into the living room, or their living room, and there was a rocking chair. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the rocking chair was rocking back and forth. Nobody was in it. She said, I didn't feel threatened, and I wasn't scared. I looked at it for a little bit, and it just stopped.
Norman!
You guys fucking suck.
Norman!
It stopped. So she went to the bathroom, came back, up to the top of the stairs, looked at it again, and started rocking real slow again. Whatever. So.
Whatever? What the fuck?
She said she wasn't scared, or it didn't bother her. She kind of took it as she knew the house was haunted and just didn't fuck with it. And then,
okay, I get that.
They would tell me stories of like their keys and shit would just go missing, and they wind up in like the freezer, or like somebody really weird. But like, and so I have no reason to believe that they would lie to me, because like she wasn't trying to scare me or nothing. It was, and then she went on to tell me like some boy down the road, like when he got hit by a car or something like that, and like the day before there was all these crows flying around and shit like that. And that was a dead deer carcass. It just like really, as a young kid, it like freaked me out. I was always like scared to go down there, but I never had any kind of experience while I was there. I didn't see anything weird, didn't feel anything weird.
Like I've never seen anything, but I will tell you that my wife has. The home we live in now has supposedly a pilgrim lady who has appeared to my wife in the past. And my stepmother, who's from Iowa, and her sister, who lives in Virginia, the family was all in visiting. And we got up in the morning, and my aunt said to me, Mike, have you ever seen anything in this house? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, like the last thing in my mind was a ghost. And she said, well, don't make fun of me. And she doesn't know the story about my wife. And she says, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw this figure stand in front of me in like pilgrim clothes. And I'm like, Deb, come here. And they're like, Deb tells her the story, and I was like, well, that's exactly what I saw. And they're like, yeah, that's exactly what I saw. So I find it odd that two people who don't know the same story would see the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's beyond the pale that there'd be spirits or ghosts.
Well, do you believe in God?
Of course. Absolutely.
Jesus?
100%.
That's different.
I mean, there's still like an afterlife, I would assume.
There has to be something more than what we are.
I believe that. I believe there is. And even the Bible specifically states about spirits and ghosts and that sort of thing. So, is it possible? Absolutely. I've never actually had that experience for myself.
What about that guy that, I think it was back in, maybe 1800s, maybe 1920s? I don't know what the time frame was, but he would weigh a dead body or somebody who was just about to die, but he had some kind of intricate, super sensitive weight system that he can measure as soon as they died. When they would die, I don't know what the percentage of or how many people, but the weight would change. It would lose like 2 ounces.
I did hear about that.
And then he assumed that was their soul leaving their body.
Right. Yeah.
And then, of course, like everything, it gets debunked. Blah, blah, blah.
Let's all just say, okay, there's ghosts in the world. I know Katie's a believer. You're pretty much a believer. I'm
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of on the fence.
Even though I haven't seen anything or felt anything,
What's the most haunted site in the United States?
I'm gonna go with Willow's Weep.
Nobody ever heard that.
What?
Continue. Next,
I can't even say.
the Winchester House.
I don't actually.
Really?
Yes.
I don't actually think that's true.
No.
I don't know.
It's a
Any
weird
place
house, but
that's
not the
actually
most
been
haunted.
reported haunted. Like you think about a place that's haunted. Like I've been to Penhurst, I've been to Eastern State, I've been to many places, and not once have I felt comfortable or felt anything malicious.
And I'm going to say the same thing because I've been to Eastern State. I've been to the Lizzie Borden house. I've been to other places that supposedly are haunted, and I have never felt anything. Have I felt like in the dark there might be something out there? Yeah, that's your mind playing tricks on you.
Exactly. That's everything. That's with everything.
But I did see on Destination X, Josh Gates on Discovery Channel. He has two people who go out and they explore the unexplained stuff, and it's the Island of Dolls. And I sent this to John,
Yeah, it's
and he's like, "Oh, I never heard of that."
fucking weird.
But it is weird as shit.
I mean, just how. Hold on, I have it in my notes here somewhere. Jumbled piece of shit notebook I have.
See, he notes like this, and like her, she's got good notes.
I don't think I wrote it down.
The Island of Dolls is like a freaky place.
I know though the guy, the girl. Well, it started with the girl with her doll drowned at that island,
Right.
And then
The caretaker of the island years later
drowned at
drowned at
the same spot.
Like, that's kind of...
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't
mean,
believe in coincidence.
right.
I also don't believe in conspiracy.
And then all those dolls there that apparently ward off evil aspects,
Supposedly.
spirits.
But they just look freaky. They just look
Yeah,
freaky.
I mean, come on, old rotten doll. Like,
And I encourage everybody who has listened to this, all 10 of you, look,
that's too much.
Google
It's about
the
six.
Island of Dolls. It
There's one
is
for you.
freaky. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, and I do not, that place would freak me out. I'm pretty
But that's
sure
all in your head.
it is. And I'm fine with that.
One. It's all in your head. Honestly.
But I'm pretty sure Willow's Weep. It's the house
What the fuck is Willow's Weep?
I'm gonna Google it.
in Indiana where it was built in, I think, the 1700s. But the house was, they say the house was built as an upside down crucifix. I mean, depending on which way you look at it, it could be right side up. You know what I mean? And there's been multiple fucking disturbances there. I think the guy that owned it killed himself. The person who owned it after that committed suicide.
But does that mean there's ghosts?
No.
well, hold on.
Okay.
Now wait a minute.
And there's more.
And there's more. I'm not done yet. And I think, but no, I do have questions about it. I wish you guys would have seen the video that I saw, but it's like apparently some lady bought it. She's like, I'll never go back there again. It's so haunted. She's like, the owner before it, he blew his head off in the chair. Apparently, like, the chair is still there. And I'm like, why would you not get rid of the chair?
I keep the chair.
Like, that's just, she's like, we're refurbishing the house and you kept the bloody chair.
Yeah, why not?
Like, that's, what the fuck's wrong
You
with
get
you?
like $25,000 off of the house.
I have doors from the old jail.
Yeah, Mike, but it's not a
Like
chair that
doors.
somebody
I
committed
have the
suicide
main
in.
prison door from the old jail from 1932.
I can
Okay,
understand
Dorn.
that.
What we're trying to say is that what we're trying to say is that there's no
would you
actual-
keep an old fucking shag rug that somebody's brains were blown out on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
that their gray matter is still embedded in?
Yeah, no. Anyway,
That
so
kind of stuff doesn't freak me out.
there was like a ghost. There was like a
Kick you right in the face.
there was one of those ghost hunter fucking episodes on it, and they had the previous owner of the house on there. She's like, yeah, she's like, my husband got jacked up against the wall from the ghost. I had 6 claw marks from my neck down to my back on there,
That sounds like a good night.
and then
Exactly.
you know, what during the whole filming of it, he's like, I want you to bring out all your rage in one shot. You know, I know you committed suicide because his wife committed suicide before that. Bring all your rage out here, and you hear this like somebody kick the door. I'm like, that's all his rage. Like the guy gets so mad he just kicks the door.
All the rage you have is the kick in the door.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is nothing happened on film, but everybody claims that all this shit happens off film.
Well, I watch those shows, and my kids watch those shows, but I don't watch them.
Apparently that's...
But they're like, oh my God, did you hear that? I didn't hear shit.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing. And all those EMPs they have...
I'm suspect of that, yeah.
Like, whatever.
It's called EMP.
Yeah, they have one on there.
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Okay.
They had the one on
I
there.
hear them, and I'm like, yeah, I can hear what they're hearing.
But you hear what they're hearing after they tell you what they're hearing, and then the human mind says, exactly.
How do you know it's a ghost?
There's very few times that I actually hear it before they say so.
Right. But then you hear them say, like they said, like, get out.
Oh, like, okay, yeah, it sounds like get out.
I heard them say get out because you told me.
It also sounds like ghetto.
Ghetto.
You ghetto, bro. Ghetto style GJs.
All right, I'm gonna go with one. What do you think is the most popular?
Alcatraz.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, damn.
Alcatraz is the
because
bomb.
honestly, that is one of the places that I want to visit.
I've never been there. I'd like to be there.
Me too.
Checked off. Got it.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got made fun of the whole fucking 2 years of my career because, the San Francisco tree. I was like, bro, I want to
remember that.
I went to San Francisco to see Alcatraz.
But you went to San Francisco to see other things, and you happened upon Alcatraz.
And I must say,
you went to see a whole bunch of gay people.
Not at Alcatraz, but the food in San Francisco is. It's like every fucking place you went was like a 5-star.
No place else got food like San Francisco.
I didn't see any homeless people either. And we had a
you didn't see people shitting on the street?
No.
But we don't talk about politics here, so
we had a crazy Russian fucking cabbie driver. This dude must have been doing like Mach 5 down the fucking this side road. I thought we were gonna die, but it was good times.
Good time.
But I was gonna say Amityville Horror.
Oh,
the Amityville House. But let's hit up Alcatraz because I want to hear your thoughts, Katie.
As far as what?
What do you think of Alcatraz?
There's a lot of hype.
Okay, thanks for talking.
No, I'm serious. Think about it. So it's prison. We all know what being in a fucking prison's like. But listen to me for a second.
Well,
Let me rap at you for a minute.
Go ahead, rap at me.
Prisoners there.
Even as an officer, you feel trapped when you're surrounded by 4 concrete walls.
Absolutely.
You can't get out. Okay? But now you're not only surrounded by 4 concrete walls, you're surrounded by fucking water. Okay? So you're surrounded by 4 concrete walls and water. And again, the human mind is an incredible thing.
I agree.
You project what you think.
Absolutely.
So
is it a haunting or is it your mind?
No, it's not. I think that like 9 times out of 10, a lot of what people experience it's their mind. You walk into a place and you feel some type of way. I mean, I don't know.
So people go through these places and they feel cold spots. Is it microclimates? Or is it actually a ghost?
Listen, no. In all honesty,
I shit you not, dude.
In all honesty, I cannot.
Hold on. You don't ride. She rides.
I do.
You rode through places.
You ride back roads?
Oh,
and all of a sudden it gets cold as shit.
I was riding bitch on the back of Katie's bike.
I wasn't going to say it.
You're right.
Boom! He rode bitch.
Okay, I understand. Yes. No, you're right.
I'm telling you.
I got you.
Okay, so at 70 miles per hour.
Right. So if you're in a place, all of a sudden there's a cold spot. Is it a cold spot?
Totally different on a bike.
Or is it a ghost?
It's different. I expect it when I'm doing 60 miles per hour on a back road on my bike.
Right.
In the shade, I expect it to get cold. When I'm walking across a sunny fucking grass field in the middle of July in Gettysburg, I don't expect it to feel cold.
You rock down 61 from Pottsville to Schuylkill Haver, Christiana. You get next to that river, it gets fucking cold.
Right, but you're riding on your bike.
But if you don't know the area...
Michael, when have you ever been walking somewhere and just felt a cold blast?
All the time. Look, we both dive.
That's because this one time a tree fell on your head?
Right away to the tree. We both dive. So you get to a certain depth in the water, This is
And
thermocline.
The thermocline.
And
you definitely
You
feel
go
it.
through that thermocline, it's like
Takes
bath
your
water
breath away. Exactly.
to cold tap water.
Well, maybe
Not
it's the
even
same
cold
when,
tap water.
Yeah,
It's like somebody just put you in an ice bath.
I
last
honestly,
week.
Like it made me gasp.
I've never been
It made
walking
me
around
gasp,
and felt
too.
a
Someone
cold,
swallowed water. I'm
a
just
cold
saying.
spot.
Nobody ever complained about
I'm just saying it's cold water. Nobody is saying anything else.
But yeah, no, I don't think Alcatraz is haunted. When I went there, it was narrated by Steve Buscemi, and
Who?
Steve Buscemi.
You just made that. You made that up.
That's a name. Ian.
You just made that up.
No, I did.
Steve Buscemi was a 9/11 guy.
Yeah, he was there, but he's also an actor,
You're just
and
making
he
up
also
words.
He
voiced
was an
over
actor after he was a hero.
the on the headphones. So you listen to his commentary to the whole thing. But they said one of the biggest things being locked up there was you could hear everything from San Francisco would travel across the bay. So you could hear people living their lives, having a good time. You could, on a certain day, you could smell,
That would suck.
you could smell foods. So you're sitting there rotting away in some fucking danky prison cell, and you could hear life going on outside the walls. Smell,
Okay.
you know.
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Hold on.
Well, I mean,
Legit,
yeah,
that would
but
suck. Because at
that's
our
just
jail,
torment.
you don't smell none of that stuff. You smell
Smell
cornfields. You smell.
No, you don't smell
You
cornfields
smell
inside the
burnt
jail.
popcorn. You smell.
Well, hold on. You weren't there in the old
Pop-Tarts.
jail when the windows used to open. When the windows used to open, I saw guys lasso pigeons and tie them to a freaking steam pipe to boil them, to cook them, to eat them.
Yeah,
I've seen that shit.
fucking yardbird.
Yeah, yardbird. But like, you don't smell anything outside of jail other than what's right outside of jail.
Right.
Cornfields.
But you know how the travel, you could hear
It would
boats.
suck to hear people partying.
Yeah, that's
And
Oh,
smell
I mean,
food? That would
especially
suck.
If I was in a boat, I would buzz the tower, so to speak, on Alcatraz.
Yeah, I'm
Just to be a dick.
I have no problem with that. I'm just saying it would suck to be in there, to be one of those guys, and smell everybody partying. And
Okay,
if you
but
look at
if
'em, I
you're
think-
there, you're there for a reason.
Right, you're there for a reason.
Stop breaking the law.
Well, yeah, I'm not a.
I am
bleeding
not
heart.
a fucking inmate advocate. That is not me.
Yeah, I'm not a bleeding heart.
I'm
but
old school. I get told that my views are antiquated.
I just think that's
Big
pretty
word.
fucking prolific. Or maybe not
He
prolific,
said
but
prolific.
Also a big word.
Right after I said antiquated.
I'm so confused right now.
that's pretty.
That's
I don't
your
know
baby.
whether they intended it for that to be
It's a
that
kid.
way, but that's what happened. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stories. Like I forget what the guy's name was. He's still alive, but D Unit, I believe it was called, was right by the windows that faced San Francisco across the bay, and that was the hole. So I think the last 4 or 6 cells were like double locked, so you would walk in and there'd be a cell, but you could shut another door behind it, so it was completely black.
Oh yeah.
There was no toilet, there was no bunk.
They put a bucket in the corner.
Yeah, and the guy said what he did when he got locked up is he would snap a button off his clothes, and he would sit there in the dark, and he would flick it, and he would just crawl around on his hands and knees and find the button. That's what he did for fucking days on end to keep his mind busy.
That sounds like a party.
But could you imagine doing that coupled with the smells and the sound? You can know, like, life's like, fuck, I'm done. I'm fucked. Yeah, but half those guys that went there probably were lifelong criminals anyways. It's never gonna fucking change.
Well, it was the worst of the worst in
Yeah.
Alcatraz. I mean, so going back to ghosts, are they haunting the place?
I don't think so.
I don't feel they are.
No.
I think I could go there and stay the night and not have.
I think that people
Why
pick up on the energy. You know, you're
It
you're
used
subjected
to-
to stories.
It used to be an old Civil War camp, not a camp, a fort. And I guess before that they
My house was built on an old Civil War fort,
stole it from the fucking Native Americans.
which is
So-
probably where the Pilgrim Lady came from.
That might have some history behind it.
It's
But
fort.
there's not much information on it that you would, you know.
All right. So consensus, there is none. We've proved nothing here. We've solved
Once
nothing.
again, we proved nothing. And giving you false facts, shitty information.
But we had a good discussion, and I think that's all you can do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think if more people did that, there'd be less problems in the
Still
world.
didn't top on
Katie
Amityville
believes in
House.
ghosts. I think anybody who believes in ghosts is a crazy person.
Katie's clearly a crazy person.
John is just gay, and
Still,
we move on.
Exactly.
So we're going to wrap this one up and go take on the world. Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed that we're all friends.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real